Oh dear, I've been going on and realized everybody was on mute. Look around, everybody's on mute for the first 10 minutes of this amazing feed that has me going on mute. I guess, Atlanta, you thought you won the mute contest. It was actually me speaking while on mute. All right, so what I was going to say, if you could actually hear me, is welcome to Myth Busting Mondays. Today, in addition to sharing with you some myth busting for legal advisors and financial advisors, innovators, entrepreneurs, instead of just always focusing on investors. But I have a really exciting announcement to share, and that is that I have accepted an appointment to the Digital Currency Group's board, DCG. That is a major player in the crypto ecosystem. You think of Bitcoin and blockchain platforms, resources, groups. DCG has played an integral role for years, definitely an OG in the space to really support and build out the entire ecosystem. And I'm honored. There's a lot of work to be done in the weeks and months and years to come, but off to a really important start as you build a foundation to move forward. You take the lessons and the blessings and you move forward to make the ecosystem and therefore the world a better place. That's not hyperbole. That's really the focus, and spent a lot of time having conversations with Barry and others to really get a handle and a sense for where we are, where we're going. And I really am honored to work with such an important team of committed folks who come from the same mindset that I do, and with the love of the ecosystem, wanting to make sure that it's safe, that all aspects are legal. They have a great framework that balances protections with supporting a robust, innovative environment. And so I continue my work as a matter of education around policy, and that is really important as well. And so I'm just really excited about that. Everybody's on mute for the first 10 minutes of this amazing feed that has me. And I'm going to turn that off so I don't continue to hear myself as we're playing with this technology. But I think we got it going on here. This is a live. This is what happens with lives. For sure. Anyway, excited to join the DCG board. Stay tuned. The official announcement went out today, and you will hear more about that. But let's hop into what we have to cover for today. We're focusing on digital money demystified for business leaders. And when I think about the opportunities and certainly some risks and the importance of building a solid knowledge base and foundation in the language and the trajectory of this new digital economy, it really is built on the rails of blockchains, on distributed means and methods of organizing and securing and making available data so that people around the world can meaningfully participate in the global economy. It's basically taking the infrastructure that allowed us to communicate as a matter of electronic mail and being both consumer and creative, learning, working, engaging in play and connectivity, taking it a step up or a notch up to not only allow for messaging, but messages that also communicate value. And that's a real game changer in Web3 that I think distinguishes it from Web2. And so for business leaders and lawyers, beyond just intellectual property and financial specialists, financial professionals, it's not merely a call to stay updated, but this is really an imperative. And what happens if you wait on the sidelines for someone else to tell you it's safe to come in and figure this out? ignorance will not save you, will not protect you, will not protect your organization, your workforce, your colleagues, your partners, and the vision for your company. If you think that's accurate, just ask Blockbuster how they're doing and what they did or didn't do to pivot when Netflix was nipping at its heels, right? And so the first thing that comes to mind are missed business opportunities. So companies not leveraging blockchain for streamlining operations, creating new revenue streams, you really risk falling behind competitors. In a world of finance, cryptocurrencies, decentralized finance platforms, those are becoming more mainstream by the day. That presents a lot of investment opportunities, opportunities for growth, and a lot of hidden risks for missed opportunities, but also not fully understanding and appreciating how to do something better, faster, and cheaper. So businesses not familiar with all of these new technologies can absolutely miss out on valuable growth opportunities. And then we have legal ambiguities. It's what I spend most of my time focused on, not just as a professor teaching blockchain, crypto, and the law, my intellectual property courses, administrative law as well, and certainly things that are related to entertainment law. That's usually a really big umbrella, but really the intellectual property issues at the intersection of IP and innovation. But the decentralized nature of blockchain creates just a plethora of legal complexities spanning beyond IP into areas like data protection, contractual obligations, international regulations. Lawyers and other professionals who are not acquainted with blockchain's intricacies are really going to struggle, and not often 10 years or 5 years or even 2 years is a very short timeline to make your existing understanding and expertise, even in your particular area of law, that will just become very 20th century. It'll be a dinosaur, and you're going to really struggle to provide comprehensive legal counsel and advice if you don't understand the legal ambiguities, the legal gray areas, and some certainties, understanding what's going on with the SEC, CFTC, various players in the crypto ecosystem. So critically important. Also, if you're a financial advisor or someone that works in the financial world as a financial professional, inaccurate financial forecasting can cost you and your client. So financial professionals have to understand the implications of a blockchain-based economy, the exchange-traded funds that will be focused on Bitcoin and eventually Ether, for starters, in the next 18 to 24 months for sure. You have to understand the nature of the spot market volatility, the mechanics of crypto assets, safeguarding them, global trends in blockchain adoption, jurisdictional distinctions and nuances. A lack of comprehension could really lead to flawed investment advice or tax advice, financial planning, estate planning. Really critically important that you are up to speed and know how to advise clients and to prepare your own workforce in order to be conversant in this language. Another area is strategic partnerships and networking. So a business begins to forge new partnerships in the decentralized digital economy. That's going to be moving from hyper competition to greater collaboration with some monetization aspects of it as well. That threatens the current status quo. But as we have an increasingly globalized, not just the industry, but the economics from around the world, it requires strategic partnerships and networking. So if you don't have a fundamental understanding of blockchain technology, crypto assets, then it makes it far more difficult to vet opportunities, to make prudent and informed decisions, strategic alliances, and those that don't expose you to unnecessary and avoidable risks, ethical, legal, financial, the gamut. And that again leads me to a more pressing point around risk management, that blockchain technology is still emerging and bringing with it a host of cybersecurity, regulatory and compliance risks. And without adequate knowledge, businesses, legal professionals, and financial advisors could really inadvertently expose themselves or their clients to unnecessary risks. There are ethical dilemmas when you think of Web3 technologies, from data privacy issues. I also teach information privacy law. So you have data privacy issues in a decentralized network environment. You have to deal with sustainability concerns of crypto mining and the environment. I think there are far better opportunities for rapid development and protection of the environment in a decentralized world, but it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So professionals need to be equipped to navigate these challenges responsibly, but after all of that, there is certainly a silver lining. And, you know, when I think of, since my own journey began in 2017, I've navigated the maze of Web3 technologies, from the nuances of blockchain applications and in various industries, including my own of education and law, to the ethical implications of DeFi networks, decentralized networks, through writing, through podcasts, hands-on experiences at a number of different levels, providing advice, advisory roles on committees and boards. I've really captured and gleaned a lot of insights, not as a technologist, but as a professional, really striving to understand the future of the digital world and how I remain at the head of the curve, at the head of the class, and, you know, as a leader, not a laggard. And so the transition to this new digital era might seem overwhelming, like really drinking from a fire hose that's on full blast, but that's where the excitement comes for the evolution, the refinement of norms and laws and rules, really stepping into a future that has a great deal of potential. And the question becomes whether you are ready to seize it as a business leader, as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, as a lawyer, as a financial professional. And just like I've embarked on this evolutionary journey, both personally and certainly professionally, I know that you can do this too. And it isn't about becoming an expert at all or an expert overnight. A little goes a long way, where you can already be the smartest person in the room when you really connect to an empowering community, that you vet resources and you start to learn the language and not, you know, go for the head fake of the sensationalized headlines that don't dive deeper. And I have a lot of resources at digitalmoneydemystified.com. I have everything from premium value experiences, either on a one-to-one or small group basis with me, a monthly, annual, or lifetime membership, my Digital Money Demystified membership, that is a companion to my book, due out October 24th. I have a weekly podcast, Tech Intersect. I have free masterclasses that you can learn more about at digitalmoneydemystified.com as well. There are lots of opportunities. There is nothing standing between you, from high value, high premium, all the way to free 99 and things in the middle. There is something for everyone if you are serious about preparing for the future today. The idea of staying ready so you don't have to get ready. Only 13.7% adoption of crypto assets currently. That means, I think that's the statistic for the United States. It could be globally, but I really think that's in the US. But we are just, again, we're in the early innings. It's a small amount of people who have been in for a long time, and the market has a cycle. It has an energy. Heck, Bitcoin is up 67% this year after moving sideways and definitely a slump in prices, and it's cyclical. Value has energy. Money is energy. It has a life cycle. And you should understand both what's going on within the ecosystem, but also what are macroeconomic pressures that impact crypto like it does all other asset classes. If you watch stations or networks like CNBC, for example, they will give you the regular price information and what's going on in the ecosystem. So you should definitely check that out. Coindesk.com, Unchained podcast, my podcast. Those are really important resources. You can go to coinmarketcap.com. That's a great resource that is, you don't have to pay for it. It's an aggregator of all the data in the crypto ecosystem. So there are a lot of ways for you to get informed. Heck, I started at YouTube University, but what I can tell you is you have far greater access to better information than I did when I first started. And if you are an OG in the space, you know absolutely, even the user interface and user experience of wallets, for example, and onboarding with exchanges, finding information. This is not some quirky, fringy thing. This is the economy of the future. We're seeing it being built today. And there's a great deal of value and power and a first mover advantage if you're doing it prudently, because we're playing the long game. This is not the idea of jumping on some FOMO wave because you have a fear of missing out and not, fundamentally understanding and appreciating. That being said, I don't know how my supercomputer of a car works. I don't think I'm using everything that my computer or my phone or my TV is capable of doing, but I know the purpose. And I know a sufficient amount that once I have a base level of understanding, it is far less dangerous to operate it. If I didn't know how to drive, my car would be a death trap. Because I know how to drive, doing it prudently, I'm taking it from A to B, following all safety guidelines, that makes it very, very safe. So in closing, I'm going to leave that with you and one other opportunity. And again, you can go to my link tree or to to digitalmoneydemystified.com in order to sign up for this exclusive 3-session webinar series that I've tailored and curated to prepare the discerning corporate executive, legal luminary, and financial frontrunner for the future of business, finance, and law. So in the series, you get a pioneering perspective where we dive deeply into the transformative shift to Web3, the profound implications on businesses and professional advisors to help you equip yourself with that foundational guide. What are the principles? What is the road to the specific steps that will lead you to become more informed and therefore more empowered to make good choices? And then the second seminar, and this whole series begins November 27th. There are spaces available. You should go to digitalmoneydemystified.com, click on how to work with me, and you can get more information. Tactical training, so how to navigate the morass, the labyrinth of crypto trends and assets, technologies. After that session, you'll be at the forefront of being able to make informed decisions, capitalizing on emerging opportunities. And then the third and final session is the regulatory roadmap. So we have the foundation, we have some specific steps, and then we have the roadblocks, the yield signs, the stop, the abort missions, and how to safely navigate regulatory risk. So ensuring that your strategies and your advice is always in line with the evolving US legal landscape that surrounds digital assets, so that you can stay compliant as much as we can figure out based upon some legal and regulatory gray areas. So much is mentioned about the SEC operating by enforcement, regulation by enforcement, as opposed to creating new rules through its rulemaking powers. And so we'll talk at length about that so that you can begin to mitigate risks, future-proof your approach, course correct and pivot if you need to, and update to reimagine how you can be successful and impactful, make a positive and strong impact in this new digital economy. So my intention and my goal for you as you go through each of the sessions is to secure your role in this new world, not just as a passive observer, but really as a strategic advisor, a thought leader, a catalyst for change. It requires that you have continuing crypto education. I want digitalmoneydemystified.com to be your safe place to land and to help you figure this out. If I can do this, I know you can. Our time is up for today, but I look forward to joining you next Monday for Myth Busting Mondays. And definitely go to digitalmoneydemystified.com, follow me on Twitter, link in with me on LinkedIn. Be careful of those who are impersonating me. Kind of begrudgingly have a blue check mark on Twitter now because I want to have some semblance of distinguishing me, but there are folks out there who have time. It's been all day, every day, and twice on Sunday, finding imaginative ways to spell out IP, which stands for intellectual property. IP Prof Evans. Prof is for professor. So I've seen a lowercase L instead of an uppercase I. I've seen zeros instead of O's. It's a whole thing. Underscores, blah, 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 you name it. And if someone is sliding into your DMs to say, hey, this is Prof Evans, how you doing? Bless you. You want to learn about Forex? Just send me $10,000. I assure you, that is not me. I will not be sliding into your DMs. I do wish you well, but I don't have a whole lot of time to be fooling around on the interweb. I am licensed to practice law in 4 states. I'd like to keep my license. Thank you very much. This is for educational and informational purposes only. I do not invest for you or for anyone, and I don't do Forex. I want to teach you and empower you so that you can go out and, as a matter of self-determination and agency and self-sufficiency, it's really, really important. This idea of financial power comes from freedom and comes from privacy. They're critically important that we maintain that in this space. So I look forward to exploring that more with you. Okay. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. You can definitely ping me on social media, and I look forward to connecting with you next week for the next Myth Busting Monday. Take care.